Hiya, Lauren Fritsch here, and you are here because you are on the Incandescent page and you're learning about how to amplify your impact by selling your services and products to bigger companies and not just solopreneurs. This next question is about cold calling. I get a lot of people wondering, well, so many of the other prospecting, trainings out there for B2B biz dev, business development, they say that you have to cold call, like you have to just pick up the phone and call people. And here's what I say to that. Don't listen to them. And cold calling is an excellent skill and it's an excellent practice to have, but don't listen to them. So I'm going to go backwards first. Here's why don't listen to them. How often are you the recipient of a phone call that is unscheduled, like freaking pumped to get that phone call from a sales rep who is trying to sell you something? How often? How often are you like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to hear from you. Please tell me about the new offers to upgrade my cable? Like never. That's because we basically are trained to hate sales calls. It's just a cultural thing. Like we don't like sales calls. So why would you just be like, oh, my sales strategy is going to be just to do like cold calls? Boo. Okay. It's uncomfortable for all involved. Now, if you are like a really stellar gifted salesperson and you can just like knock out phone calls and get rejected and like get right back up again, like those inflatable like dummy things that you punch and then they like go over and then they pop back up and then you can punch them again and they go over and they pop back up. Okay, if that's you, then awesome. This doesn't even apply to you. Don't even listen to me. Like just go make cold calls all day long, right? Or 4 hours a day. You'll get somewhere. But if you take it personally at all, if you find it completely demoralizing to even consider cold calling as a strategy, you don't need to use it as a strategy. Now, the practice of cold calling is an excellent one. I'm going to tell you a little story. This is going to be a little longer video. When I was just out of high school, I got a job with Newspapers in Education, which is a program with the Durham Morning Herald, whereby we asked local business owners to pay the newspaper to put newspapers in classrooms in public schools around the city. It's a great thing. It is a charity, It's helping a for-profit organization, the newspaper, but also helping the nonprofit organizations, the school systems. So it works. It's a win-win, right? And it's a win for the company because they can say, oh, we support newspapers and education. So my job was to call local businesses and say, hey, would you like to support newspapers and education? That job sucked. It was no fun. I got hung up on, I got told off, I got all kinds of responses and reactions to my phone calls. It was an excellent experience for me in my career in sales. And I will talk more about my cold calling experiences, but that was like my first one. And I quit. I think I lasted just a couple of weeks before I was like, I can't take this anymore. This sucks. I think I'll go work at the ice cream store. Because people want what you have at the ice cream store. They come in. Now, that is a very important detail. One of the keys to great sales, whether you have ice cream or you have consulting services or coaching services, is you want to have the milkshake that brings all the corporate clients to the yard. And the way you do that is by serving up really good milkshakes that solve everybody's problems. It's not by calling strangers who might be on a diet or have just eaten dinner or maybe who are allergic to milk and saying, hey, do you want to buy my milkshake? Because it's really good. No, 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 no. We are not doing that. We are not going to waste your precious mojo on cold calls. We are, however, going to practice cold calls in a warm and loving environment with people who are pretending or acting, if you will, because it's really good practice. Okay, more on that later. So, cold calls, don't do it unless you're like a crazy superstar, like Bozo the Clown boxing guy, and you don't actually really need them. Because there's a different way to attract clients without having to go beat down their doors. Cool? Yay.